Lars had been known to be one of the Valentis Vulcan children of the past Red Ravage clan before their clan's fall to the Elkai dominion. The clan itself had been thought to be entirely whipped out, as told by some of the surviving members of it themselves. However, it is known that 3 young siblings of the Valentis house had managed to escape along with their uncle. It is also known that one of the older sisters had managed to survive the attack and was believed to be hiding somewhere within Ain. What is not known is that there is another member of the family that had also managed to escape the death grip of the Dominion, and he would cease to exist from the knowledge of the others entirely. Despite the reputation of the Valentis to their clan, not all were noble in their defense against the Elkai Dominion. Some would not hold the same brave blood of their kin, and instead would opt for the chance to flee the battle and ultimately leave their brethren for dead. Lars was such an individual, and though he was a Valentis, who were famously known within their clan to be ruthless but loyal to their kin, Lars seemed to be deviant of these traits. He was not brave, nor was he very skilled in the art of combat. And though he was considered to be one of the middle children of the family, he did not hold the same discipline and sense of responsibility to his blood pack, choosing to do what he wanted when he wanted. This meant that he would often shirk his responsibilities when it came to helping out in the family, and was so aloof in his ways, he'd often forget the needs and wants of others, which put him in a disposition with the rest of his siblings, especially the eldest being Sinnoh. Sinnoh would often get into arguments that would result in Sinnoh physically assaulting Lars in an attempt to either establish her dominance over him or simply beat him into cooperation with the others, but that would always backfire, chasing Lars away from his family for extensive periods of time, causing much worry and stress for his family as a whole. But Lars was always considered to be a selfish individual and never seemed to consider the feelings and thoughts of others. He believed that, despite the ever-perilous threat of their people against the Elkai, he had his own little world that belonged only to him, leaving everyone else out of it, including the importance of staying together as a family. Lars had always believed that he would be better off elsewhere, anywhere other than being stuck with his family. He didn't even want to be a Vulcan, mostly because of the prevalent prejudice and heavy-handed law enforcement that their kind were prone to endure on a daily basis. He would often think himself better than that, even so much as to deny his Vulcan blood entirely, harking to the likelihood of being an Elkai himself. How he secretly admired the Elkai for not only their freedom and prowess, but their beauty as well. He was very fond of how the Elkai appeared to him, and thought to them to be near-perfect beastkin that deserved to stand above all others, for it was they who were considered to be the closest descendants of the Kai, and thus seen as nobles of purity and all that was beautiful. He was highly attracted to their fair skin, their agile and slender bodies and eye colour. How pure they looked to him in regards to the dirty and savagery of his people in comparison. How he yearned to be amongst them and live with them in the lap of luxury as they do. However, being a Vulcan, he could never and would never achieve this, not even when he managed to save his own skin from the pending slaughter of his clan and was marred from it, leaving him broken in some ways and stripped of even his Vulcan lineage. He not only lost his family, but his arms and horns as a Vulcan as well. But Lars would not see this as a tragedy and more of a gift at living a new life away from the filth he saw in his own people. Without his horns, he would be seen as something else other than what he was and coined as a Hundin. This was made known to him when he decided to flee out of Volrea entirely for a better life elsewhere. Now that he was not held back from such freedom, he felt that he could go anywhere he wanted in the world. So he would choose the continent New Eingalde. From there he sought the brighter life of a noble, but what he was met with instead was more constriction of his newly found freedom. Hundin in the world of Ain are considered to be the minority of the beast kingdom. This means that they are not only at the bottom of the food chain, but also considered to be lesser than most of the beastkin. Even in some cases, the Ruskin have more leverage than the Hundin. But this isn't to say that the Hundin as a race is lost entirely, for they still hold some viability to them that other races find useful and tend to exploit for their own means. The Hundin is a highly versatile and flexible race, capable of excelling in most things they partake in, including the use of magicka, though they are not prone to using magicka as a whole, nor are they strong in the aptitude for it. But they can and will explore many aspects of the world around them, and seemingly achieve such greatness in them with ease. This ability of the Freakin to accomplish anything they set their minds to may have put them in the crosshairs of the other beastkin, who may or may not have been envious of the Hundin, thus finding the reasonings and justifications to hinder the hound race with such limitations that would even lead to the extreme of slavery. The Hundin race still suffers from the world's outlook of them, chaining their potential to menial roles such as manual labor, servitude to others, and even dangerous tasks that often put their very lives in danger, all for the means of personal indifference to their kind. This fate would be met by Lars when he lost his horns and was classified as a Hundin. And it was only when he would be put into the role of manual labor, having to slave within the coal mines, under the whims of the Baldermen, did he begin to regret his decisions and his life altogether. And just like with his past life, he sought to run away from his present life, but was unable to due to his literal chains that kept him under the thumbs of the Baldermen, who used him as a rockhound for their expedition within the mines, forever fishing for valuable ore. He went from a free-bound Vulcan to a lesser being than he was before. However, Lars would cheat out of his fate once more when he was rescued by a Volkari who sought to buy a Hundin slave. This Volkari was named Mordecai, and though Lars was considered to be a Hunding by sight and coward by default, Mordecai would see the resting potential within Lars, regardless of his muddled characteristics, which was unfavorable by others, but proved to be valuable by Mordecai, who would use Lars to further his lineage of the blood fiends known as the Elderlock. Though Lars would not become an Elderlock himself, he would continue to be of use to his master Mordecai in more ways than one.